Mercedes drivers don't arrive, they make an entrance. Doesn't matter if it's a 15-year-old C-Class with one hubcap missing or a brand new S-Class with massage seats built in. The second that three-pointed star pulls up, something in your posture changes. Today we're going through every tier of Mercedes ownership, from the lease you can barely afford to the AMG that makes your neighbors hate you. Stick around to the end because Tier 5 is a different species entirely. Tier 1, the A-Class, or the CLA if you wanted the coupe roofline and didn't mind losing headroom in the back. This is the entry point. Most of these are sitting on a PCP deal with 3 years left and a final balloon payment nobody mentions at dinner. But you don't care, because for the first time in your life you own a Mercedes, or at least the finance company does, and you're just looking after it for them. Here's the thing about that badge, though. People clock it before they clock the car. Doesn't matter that it's the smallest, cheapest thing in the entire range. Pull up next to someone in a Corsa at the lights and you've already won the traffic light Grand Prix in their head, even though your 1.3-liter engine couldn't outrun a strong headwind. Then the insurance renewal lands. 300 pounds more than you expected, because apparently the postcode you live in is a problem now. Suddenly you understand exactly why your mate told you to just get a Polo and save yourself the stress. But you don't sell it. You just quietly stop telling people what the renewal actually cost you, and you start parking slightly further from the curb so nobody sees the scuff on the rear bumper. There's also a very specific Mercedes owner ritual that happens around week 2. You catch yourself wiping a smudge off the steering wheel boss at a red light for no reason with your sleeve, just to see that star catch the light properly one more time. Tier 2, the C-Class. This is the promotion car. You got the pay rise, you got the new job title on your email signature, and you needed something sitting in the car park that said it without you having to say a single word out loud. Every single C-Class owner has had the exact same argument with a BMW 3 Series owner and an Audi A4 owner about which one is actually the better drive. Nobody wins this argument, ever. Everybody's monthly payment is roughly the same anyway, but the argument refuses to die because admitting defeat means admitting you might have picked wrong. The service plan costs more than your first car was worth when you bought it, and you'll pay it without blinking because the alternative is admitting out loud that you can't actually afford the car you're currently driving around in. And somewhere around month 18, you start glancing at E-Class listings on your lunch break, not buying, just looking, just checking what the upgrade would cost, purely out of curiosity, obviously. Tier 3, the E-Class. This is where things start getting serious. The E-Class means you've made it, sort of. You've got kids now, or a mortgage, or both, and a deep, completely unexplainable need for ambient interior lighting you can change to 14 different colors depending on your mood that evening. 200 miles on the motorway, and you arrive feeling fresher than when you left the house. That's the E-Class party trick. Adaptive cruise control, lane assist, a seat that massages your lower back while you sit in traffic outside Birmingham. It's less driving, more being gently delivered somewhere. There's a school-run hierarchy too, and everyone in that car park knows exactly where they sit in it, even if nobody says it out loud. The E-Class sits comfortably near the top without trying particularly hard, which is honestly the entire point of owning one. You also start noticing other E-Class drivers on the motorway and giving them a small, almost imperceptible nod through the windscreen. Nobody taught you this. It just happens the moment you join the club. You also develop a very specific kind of road rage now. Not at being cut up. At being cut up by someone driving something cheaper than your car, because some small embarrassing part of you genuinely believes the E-Class badge should come with right-of-way. And the boot. The boot is doing more emotional labor in your life than most of your actual relationships. Pushchair, golf clubs, the big shop, all of it, every single week, without complaint. Tier 4. The GLE or the GLC if you wanted the same energy in a slightly smaller body. You sit higher now, both literally in the seat and socially in the school car park, and you will mention the elevated driving position to anyone who asks, and several people who didn't. Parking this thing in a normal-sized supermarket space has become a full sensory experience. Beeping from 4 different directions, a bird's-eye camera view, A screen showing you angles of your own car you never knew existed, and you still somehow clip the curb on the way in. That fuel light hits differently in something this size. You're not topping up anymore. You're making a genuine financial decision, weighing it against the rest of your week, glancing at the pump price like it personally offended you. You've also started saying the phrase, "It's surprisingly good on fuel for its size," to literally anyone who brings up the size of your car, completely unprompted, like you're reading from a script someone handed you at the dealership. The school run nod gets a slight upgrade too. From other GLE and GLC owners specifically, it's less a nod now and more a knowing look, like you've both quietly agreed the elevated driving position was worth every penny of the lease. Tier 5, AMG. This isn't an upgrade from the rest of the range, it's a different species entirely. Everything up to this point has been about looking like you've made it. The AMG is the first one that's actually about how it makes you feel the exact moment you press that start button. Starting this thing at 6 in the morning has ended more than one relationship with a neighbor. You know it. You do it anyway, every single time, with something that might actually be pride. The drive mode dial becomes a personality test you give yourself daily. Comfort for the commute, sport for absolutely no reason on a Tuesday, race mode exclusively for empty roads at golden hour when nobody's watching. Fuel economy stops being a conversation you have with yourself entirely. You knew what you signed up for. The numbers on the screen are basically just a suggestion at this point, a polite fiction you've both agreed to ignore. And the sound. The sound is the entire point. Every single cold start in a quiet car park becomes a tiny, deeply unnecessary performance, and you wouldn't have it any other way. Every tier before this one was about what other people see when you pull up. This one is about what you feel when there's nobody else on the road and you finally put your foot all the way down. That's the entire Mercedes ladder, from the lease you can barely justify to the AMG that justifies itself the second you start it. Which tier are you on right now? Drop it in the comments below. And if you want the next one, BMW, Audi, or Range Rover, let me know which. Subscribe if this one was accurate. See you in the next one.